Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So I don't know if you can tell, but my bookshelf looks pretty empty compared to what it was last week. And I am going to be doing a giant unhaul. I was really proud of how many of these books I've read, but there are a few that I haven't read. And since there's so many books, I'm not going to go too into detail about why I'm unhauling it. Most of the ones that I've read were not 5 stars because I only keep books that are 5-star reads that I will reread eventually. And these just didn't do it for me. Some of them I'm only getting rid of because I have duplicates. Some of them I just am no longer interested in. So let's just get this unhaul going. Let's start with the duplicates. So my friend Michael sent me a ton of books. Most of them were Dean Koontz, so thank you, Michael. But she sent me to Brother Odd. The Odd Thomas series is one of my favorite series of all time, which is weird coming from me because I don't read series at all. But this series I do like. I have read this book already. It's just about which cover I like, and this one's dark and mysterious, which I love, but I think this one's in better condition. And that's kind of why I kept it. Plus, look at that ominous figure on the front. So I'm keeping this one. I'll put it up there in the right place in the little. This one's being unhauled. And then this one I have 2 copies of as well. And it's Dark Rivers of the Heart by Dean Koontz. And I was going to pick a copy to keep, but I ended up reading this for the Owls in April. And this is not my favorite Dean Koontz book. I only gave it 3 stars. He's still one of my favorite authors, but I don't see myself ever rereading this book. So I'm going to get rid of both of them. And then these 2 I haven't read, but I'm not going to. So I'm not going to kid myself. But there's Close to Home by Lisa Jackson. I only got it because it's Lisa Jackson and it takes place in Oregon. And I shouldn't buy books just because they take place at somewhere that I love, or like home, or if it's a place that I want to go, you know? And then this one is A Rose for Her Grave by Ann Rule. It's true crime. I used to love reading true crime, but I found that lately I like the documentaries about true crime and the videos and things like that, movies, but I do not like reading about it as much. I haven't been entertained, so I'm just gonna give that one away too. And then to go along with the true crimes, I have Bitter Harvest by Ann Rule, Murder and Madness, The Secret Life of Jack the Ripper by David Abrahamson, and the last one is Final Vows, Murder, Madness, and Twisted Justice in California by Karen Kingsbury. They're all true crime, but I just don't enjoy reading true crime anymore. Like I said, I like to watch it, and I know I'm committing the worst reader's sin in the world by getting rid of those and watching the show instead. Oh, my TV's up here, so that's why I keep pointing up there. It's not like I'm just, yeah, whatever. Okay, then this one is You Don't Want to Know by Lisa Jackson. Honestly, I would still love to read this, but it's just my eyes, even with my glasses, sometimes hurt. I should really go back to the eye doctor. It's been a while. And the newest glasses they gave me last year, the year before, I think it was last year, they don't work. They like hurt my eyes. They give me really bad headaches. So I actually wear my first glasses from a couple years ago. So I should just get my eyes checked, but because the print is so small, it's like mass market paperback, I just can't read it. I'm not gonna strain myself to read it. But eventually I might get like a different version of it someday. I don't know. I have so many books that I'm not gonna miss it. And then, so in this year, actually, like in March, I think. Yeah, in March, I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I had like 3 books by her on my shelf, and this was one of them, More Than We Can Tell. This is actually a sequel to Letters to the Lost. I've never read Letters to the Lost, so I'm just gonna let that one go. And A Curse So Dark and Lonely is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'm sure I'm like the last person on planet Earth to read it because it was so hyped. And again, the hype made me like very scared to read it, because usually if it's hyped and I don't like it, then, you know, I'm disappointed. But I did not like it, but it wasn't worth all the hype either. It was just like a mediocre read. I think I gave it 4 stars. But it was only okay. And I'm not gonna read it again. So we're just gonna unhaul that one. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're gonna unhaul all these books, but the world is still closed. So where are you gonna unhaul them to? For now, I have a couple milk crates down here. Sorry, they're still full of books. But I'm going to put them in there, and when the world opens, I'm going to trade them. And whatever I can't trade, I'm going to donate to the thrift store in town, that all the proceeds get donated to the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, which is amazing. So, kind of a little bit of both. And then, let's just keep going with these books. So, 4-Letter Word by Krista Dizer. I gave this 4 stars. It's probably like a 4.5 star read. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. But I know the mystery behind it now, and I don't see myself ever rereading it, but it was definitely a great book. I buddy read this with Amanda and Michael. I don't think they liked it as much as I did, though. I know they did not love the ending, but I really liked this. Okay, and then The 12 by Howard and Susan Kaminsky is like a cult in Arizona. And I tried to get into it a couple times, and it's just not for me. I really didn't get that far, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I'm not gonna read it. Then the next book I bought, City One by Greg Rosenblum. This might be an amazing book. I cannot read it because it is like the 3rd in a series, or the 4th in a series. And it's a short read, but I don't want to have to buy all the rest of the books to read it. So that one's just going to go bye-bye as well. And same with this one, A Want So Wicked by Susan Young. This is the sequel to A Need So Beautiful. Don't have A Need So Beautiful. Not gonna worry about getting it. I've had this book All That I Can Fix by Crystal Chain for a while, since, like 6 months. Yeah. And I still don't remember what it's about. And I'm pretty sure that I reread the synopsis every single month. And if I can't remember it after 6 months, then it's not worth my time. And then the next couple I have read, but they weren't anything special. So the first one is The House Swap by Rebecca Fleet. This was like the first domestic thriller that I've read, and I gave it 2 stars. I was not impressed. At this point in time, I thought that domestic thrillers weren't for me because I read this, did not love it. So it's about this woman who goes on vacation with her husband, and they swap houses with a stranger on the internet. When she gets to the house in the suburbs of, like, London, I believe, she starts getting clues as to whose house it is, and she believes that she swapped houses with the guy that she was having an affair with. So it sounds really good, but it was very boring and very slow. And I think that a lot of domestic thrillers are like that, so that's why I kind of thought, hey, domestic thrillers aren't my thing. I actually don't think I've read another one since then. I DNF'd one, but I don't have it anymore. Okay, then for some reason, when I ordered my last book outlet order, I really wanted like a easy read contemporary romance, which if you watch my channel, you know that is not my style. But I was just in the mood, and that's weird for me. So I got Kissing Max Holden by Katie Upperman, and I actually enjoyed this to an extent. There were the book was a little bit problematic for me just because of my feelings and my morals. Okay, so Jilly and Max are neighbors. It's like a forbidden love type situation. But the problem that I had with it was that Max was in a relationship, and I don't care if you have problems with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever. You don't kiss someone else. You don't cheat. And so although it was a cute romance between Jilly and Max, I think that they started it on the wrong foot because he was in a relationship and Jilly knew that, but they still got together anyways. And for that reason, I will not be reading it again or keeping it as a favorite. I only gave it 3 stars, and it would have been more if he wasn't already with someone else, I think. But I just can't do it. I can't read about it. It's not something that I like in real life or in my books. But let's see. These ones I have one that I've read. So let's just keep going. The Undoing of Thistle Tape by Caitlin Detweiler. So I read this in March at the very beginning of the pandemic, and I can't remember too many of the details. I know that it's about this girl who is the author of a series called the Lemonade series, but she's not really the author. She's just the face of the book and the one that everyone thinks is the author. But when the real author dies, she has to finish the series on her own. And I did not love the actual book itself, but inside the book is a series called the Lemonade series. It has parts of the actual Lemonade series that they were talking about in here. And that was my favorite part of the book. So I'm just not going to reread it. It was okay. I think I gave it 3 stars as well. Then these 3 I haven't read, not going to for one reason or another. The 12 Days of Dash and Lily by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. This one I'm actually super excited for, and I'm really sad to be letting it go. But I've never read the first one, the 12 Dares of Dash and Lily. And I've heard that you can read this one without reading the other one. But I don't want to. If I'm going to read it, I want to read like the whole thing. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Then this one, Wilder by Andrew Simmet. I've tried to read this a few times, but I don't remember anything about it. It's like a YA romance, I think, but I just don't care. And then this one I actually did read because it was like a challenge of read the lowest book on your TBR, and at the time it was The Pursuit of Miss Heartbreak Hotel by Mo Bonin, and I don't remember a single thing about it. It was I remember that I was bored. I don't even know if I finished it. I don't think I finished it, actually. So I was going to, but I completely understand why it's my lowest rated book. So it's going bye-bye. Okay, and then these next 4, when I first started BookTube, and I know what you're thinking. You just started BookTube. You're only 6 months old, 7 months old, something like that. You're still a youngin', which might be true in terms of BookTube community. But when I first started, I was trying to win every single book that you can win online, regardless of if it was something that I would like or something that I would read or enjoy. I just wanted to have a big book collection. And I think that I went about that the wrong way. When I first started, I also bought all these books that I had never heard of. In my defense, they were only $0.25 each because they were at my library book sale, but does that really make it much better? No. A lot of the books on my shelf at one point, most of these I'm excited for now. There are still a few that I'm not so sure about, but that's okay. But at one point or another, I kind of just bought all these books, entered all these giveaways, and I don't know who I was trying to fool, honestly. I was just buying everything, and I was getting into the hype of BookTube, and there are some things in here that we haven't gone over yet that I bought because of the hype. Some that I just thought, oh, okay, that'll be cool to read and review on my channel, but I don't want to be that kind of booktuber. I just want to read because I like reading. And if you enjoy my content, that's cool. You can give this a like and subscribe to me. But let's get back into this unhaul. So I won 4 giveaways of books that I'm not at all interested in because, I was trying to get a ton of books. So the first 2 are kind of nonfiction. This is Nerve by Ava Holland. It's The Science of Fear. The Crowd in the Cosmos, Adventures in the Zooniverse by Chris Lochte. And this is about space. And I just don't care. And then these two are like fiction books. So this one is Luster by Raven Lelenny. I tried to get into this one, but it's about like a 20-something-year-old who's like obsessed with sex and like, yeah, I don't care. And this one is Feels Like Falling by Christy Woodson Harvey. I read a good chunk of this one. I think I got halfway. I got to about here, 167. But the thing is that I'm not a contemporary reader. The only time I like contemporary is when it is like hard-hitting. And even when it's hard-hitting, I'm very picky about it. I feel like this has potential and that the right reader would love this, but I just gave up on it because it's not for me. It's a great beach read though, and I think anyone that likes romance, contemporaries, beach read type books would love this. It just was not for me. Okay, and then my last 4 books in my first Milk Crate or I guess my last 5, are all ones that I have not read and I'm not interested in. Let's start with Surviving Adam Mead by Shannon Clare. This is like a sports romance. I don't care for contemporary. I don't care for romance. Don't care for sports books. And I don't know who I was trying to kid when I bought that. Now, this one I'm really on the fence about, or at least I thought I was, but it is See All the Stars by Kit Frick. And it's hard to find the truth beneath the lies you tell yourself. I don't remember what this is about, but every time I read the synopsis, I am like, oh, I really need to keep this. But since I don't know what it's about, I'm not going to take the time to figure it out. We're just going to unhaul it. You know, I'm not even going to miss it. Then there's Match Me If You Can by Tiana Smith. And this is about a girl whose best friend is like a matchmaker at their high school. And I forget what's her name. I wish I could remember her name. I've read Mia. So Mia starts having feelings for her best friend's crush, but obviously her best friend is not going to set her up with her crush because that's her crush. And I just don't care. And then I have Everything I Know About You by Barbara D. And this is a middle grade book, I guess. It's about this class trip that goes to Washington, D.C. And these 2 girls who are best friends, Talia, okay, maybe it's just Talia. So Talia gets partnered with her enemy to stay in the same room, and then it's like enemies to friends type of thing. It's not like a lover romance thing, but I'm still not interested in this one. Just, I don't know, I think it's maybe too kiddie for me, too childish, And then the last one in this crate, so probably the last one for this video. I'm going to do a part 2 of my unhaul later. But the last one in this crate is a textbook that I just really don't need anymore, so I'm not going to keep it. but it is Signing Naturally, Units 7 through 12, student workbook. So it is my ASL book, and I am going to be in ASL 3 and 4 during the summer, but I no longer need this one for ASL 2, and I've read it, well, most of it, but I just don't need it, so I'm gonna try to get some trade credit for it. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching me talk about all the books, half the books I'm getting rid of, and stick around, come back for part 2 of this video. Bye guys.